This episode is brought to you by Muntins Malts, a company that is passionate about providing premium malts to brewers worldwide. For over a century, Muntins has been a leading supplier of brewing and distilling malts, offering the finest British malted barley on the market. You can experience the difference Muntins offers by joining a recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club, because every kit that ships out now includes premium Muntins malt. You know, we've known the Muntins crew for a long time, and I can tell you, friend, you're going to love brewing with their grains. Ask your local supply shop to carry Muntins malts, or homebrewers can join our Trub Club at homebrewhappyhour.com/club, be a part of the community, and come brew with us. Thank you, Muntins, for supporting our efforts and homebrewers worldwide. Today's show is brought to you by Hopsdirect.com. Grown in the esteemed Yakima Valley on the Pewterball family farm, Hopsdirect.com offers the widest variety of hops available online at incredibly competitive pricing. It's simple. They grow hops, they sell hops, and they ship hops straight from their family-owned farm to your doorstep. Producing the highest quality hops is Hopsdirect.com's passion, and they're proud to be an independent grower in the craft beer industry. Go to Hopsdirect.com right now and get what you need to make your brew day better. That's Hopsdirect.com. Today's show is brought to you by Imperial Yeast. You hear us gushing over Imperial Yeast all the time, and that's because their yeast performs for us in every batch that we brew. Imperial Yeast is adored by commercial breweries and home brewers alike. Their pitch-right pouches are jam-packed with over 200 billion fresh yeast cells, guaranteed to deliver flawless, fast fermentations every time. Imperial Yeast strains are grown by a team of pro brewers and home brewers who live to help other brewers learn more and ferment better. Join any recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club and get a free upgrade to premium Imperial Yeast with every recipe kit that ships out to you. Learn more at homebrewhappyhour.com/club and come brew with us.
Entertaining shows with content that spreads information and sparks discourse throughout the community. This is the Pearl Media Network.
Homebrew disconnect maintenance, draft beer temperature ranges for serving, and do kegs go bad? This is Homebrew Happy Hour, episode 453. Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. This is the show where we supply the answers to your homebrewing questions and discuss all things related to craft beer. And if you, my friend, have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com. You could email joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com. But even better, call it in. Leave a voicemail to 325-305-6107. When I use your question on a future episode, get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Does not get much better than that, but it can. It almost does, because today I am so happy. I am joined by the President and Chief Keg Washer of Keg Connection LLC, Mr. Todd Burns. Hey, you're wearing the Keg... Oh, that's an OG Keg Connection shirt. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. And don't act like you're so happy to see me. I'm second string, and I know it.
Hey, your mic changed. Let's fix that. It went to your webcam mic. Switch it back over in the VDO settings. I'm not going to edit this out. I thought your mic was fine when we started, but it switched over to your webcam microphone.
I didn't change it, so.
Oh, you did. Oh, you know what? And there's let me see. I can request.
What do I want it to be?
The USB audio codec. Do you see that?
Yep, it's on there.
Hey, there he is. All right. It'll just help out. It'll.
So I say again, you act so happy to see me, but I know I was second string today. So
yeah. No. What are you talking about? No.
You had somebody else was supposed to be on.
No, this is now.
You called me at the last minute. Oh, man, I'm going to have to talk to you today.
Hey, all I'd say, I'm not throwing any names. This is a different person. Last week, another person bailed on me last minute. Lorena Evans stepped up to the plate, and she was almost, she was more last minute than you were today. She stepped up in like an hour and a half notice. Like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Didn't read the questions. Couldn't because she couldn't. Because I also sent. I
didn't either.
I sent them to her like 20 minutes before the show, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you got the questions. You're good. You're good." My trick last week, though, dude, was taking questions that I could have done on my own. So it was like, "Hey, Josh, how do you tie a shoe?" And I was like,
Yeah.
Well, James, I use Velcro," or whatever the guy's name was. But anyways, I have a tiny bit of small talk, but first, I want to ask you, we did Brew Day Live, which is also known as episode 450 to most people on the planet.
Yes. Yeah, it's not.
But it's known as, it identifies as episode 450, and
There is no episode 450 if you're looking for it.
There's none on the play, only at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour.
You realize that when we do like episode 500, you're like, this is episode 500. I'm going to be going, it's actually $4.99.
It's actually $4.99. Oh, you're right. That's going to be funny. You're right. It's going to have an asterisk. It's like Barry Bonds' home run record. It'll be, Was that really he hit? How many? 50 what? But anyways, we all brewed that day. I can't even for the life of me remember what you brewed, but the batch, is it kegged? What's the status of the batch that you brewed for episode 450/Brew Day?
It is still lagering. So it's at like, I saw it briefly last night and it was at like 40 degrees right now.
But remind me again, because I brewed a German Pils. James brewed a Fest beer. I forgot what you brewed. I cannot remember for the life of me.
You don't remember what I brewed?
You don't either. Look at you.
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly what I brewed. I brewed
a pale ale. You did it. That's right. No, as you were saying that, that's right. A pale ale you created. That's why I couldn't think of it off the top of my head.
So people are going to be like, well, why is he lagering that? Well, I'm just basically put it down to 40 and I'm going to let it sit there until it clarifies more. And one of the reasons is I have people staying in my Airbnb all week, so I can't really go in there. So I did see it last night because I went in and talked to them for a minute.
That's
and I'm going to basically probably on Sunday, I'm going to move it to kegs and then get it even colder and let it sit a little longer. And I like to let my beers sit for a while. I know. I think I like to get them nice and clear.
Well, and this a West Coast pale. That's the style that you're mimicking, right? I mean, that's the style you brewed is a West Coast pale ale.
I'm not mimicking anything. I brewed a West Coast ale.
Right. And so I'm saying, though, people might think that that's not like that. West Coast pale ales are very bright. Like you get a commercial one, they're bright. It's not
it's going to be bright.
Right. And some IPAs are bright, but I would think, I don't know. I bet a pale ale isn't subjected to this like an IPA. You almost want to get it to production as fast as possible, or to packaging rather, because the hops that you put in, for the aroma and all that.
And it really has. I mean, I took some out this last weekend, and it has great aroma. Like one of my things when I brew beer, a lot of times I never feel like I have enough aroma. Right. This one's got a lot of aroma.
Yeah,
so it was nice.
Perfect. And remind me the hops you used. Was it Cascade?
That I used two different hops. One of them was Cascade. I had to pull up the recipe.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say.
It's on the. I mean, it's such a common hop. I don't know why it's not coming to me.
Centennial.
It's super. No. What's the most popular hop in the
Citra?
world? Citra.
Okay.
Citra. Thank you.
Cascade.
See, all I had to say was most popular hop in the world. I think it was Citra and Magnum.
And I'm such a hipster. I will never brew a Citra. That's what I mean. Oh, people like Citra. Psh, no thanks. Even though I knew Citra before people knew about it. I knew about Citra before everybody else. But I asked about the status of your beer because I told you I'm bringing you a 5er of German Pils. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's great because my beer is almost ready. And then James is going to have a 5er of Fest beer. I forgot to tell you, too, I have a 2.5 gallon keg of Breakfast Stout for you. I'm bringing a lot of. I do.
Oh, wow. I need beer. I'm out of beer. I got rid of all the Breakfast Stouts except one, and I think it's done. It's been in there a long time. So I'm anxious to have a good breakfast stout again.
Yeah, this year's batch turned out real good. And I was going through the keezer earlier, switching gas around. When I come up there next week, I need to buy, and by buy I mean steal while you're not looking, a 6-way manifold so that I can have all these kegs on gas simultaneous. I'm just hopping around.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard back on those kegs I wanted to buy.
Oh yeah, no, my pop did. Yeah, I'll say that too in the small talk segment. My pop, the serial estate sailor, purveyor of estate
Oh, well,
sales.
don't tell everybody about it. He may get a new buyer. I might get outbidded.
Well, I'm not. Hey, listen here, pal. He didn't end the guy. He hasn't gotten all the kegs from the guy. He's got 9 so far. 6 of the 9 are torpedo kegs. Do you remember the torpedo? I mean,
yeah, sure.
Super nice. And guess what he paid per keg so far?
I don't think you should tell people because they're going to try to buy them underneath me. But, the other thing, I thought about my negotiating tactics on this, and one of the things is if he doesn't give me a good price, I'm going to demand back all the kegs you've stolen from me over the years.
That's true. Oh, that's true. Yeah. See, I joke, but it's like, hey, Todd, look that way, and then run off.
It is Magnum and Citra. I just looked.
Oh, nice. Yeah, those torpedo kegs, all the kegs, $2.50 a pop, dude.
Wow.
And it was someone who owned a franchise of a very popular coffee shop in Central Texas, and they got out of it, and I have no idea what they're thinking. And I don't even think my pop was. I mean, I think he asked them like, "What are you thinking?" But they sold it that cheap,
Probably just wanted to get rid of it.
Well, yeah, but when's the last time
people just want to get rid of it?
When's the last time you've seen a ball lock keg for $2.50 wholesale? Never.
Never. I mean, yeah. I mean, the cheapest I ever bought kegs, I bought a whole container of pin locks one time, and I think they were $4 or $5.
Right,
yeah.
Which is
an entire container.
Right. Yeah.
But you know what? We couldn't hardly give them away then.
Back then, I remember.
We made very little money. I would actually love to have one of those torpedo kegs because it has the it has both style, or maybe not. Does it have? No. It doesn't have a Sankey tap on it, right?
No.
Okay.
No, but it's the kind that are stackable so that you
That's what it is.
You can still have the distance on. It's magic. I don't know how they're 5-gallon volume because they're not that much wider than a normal ball lock. They're not as wide as a pin lock, but it's recessed, so the handles go up higher so that there's clearance for any size ball lock disconnect and able to stack kegs. I don't get how they did, but I'm confident it's More Beer's operation, or More Beer owns part of the company that makes them, or maybe they just have the exclusive.
I think they make them.
I think they do too.
I mean, I think talked to them about it before, but I can't remember what the deal was.
Well,
when I was in their facility one time in California, we were looking at them and talking about them. But they also had one that had a Sankey.
Yes, I remember.
It had
those.
a lid on it, and it had a Sankey connection on it. I thought, that's different. I don't have anything like that. I have everything, so I have to have one of everything.
We ought to get Chris and Olin back on the show. We should.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
We should have them back on. It's been 4 years since they've been on the show.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. But anyways, then wrapping up the small talk, though, of actual relevant small talk that people care about. My friends, if you go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour, join a recipe receiving tier, you're going to get the Abbey Road Belgian Triple. Thanks to our sponsors, hopsdirect.com, Munton's Malt, Imperial Yeast, and Monster Brewing Hardware for supplying the incredible ingredients and the mill that my pop and I use every brew day to mill those grains fresh and go into brew day with our best foot forward. Again, the Belgian Triple, we call it Abbey Road. Todd, you probably call it Delicious because you love that style. And you, even though it's funny, you questioned me though. You're like, oh my God, we're like diving headfirst into Belgians.
Yeah, and I do like Belgian beers. Triples? Ooh, wow.
It's going to be a boozy winter. That's what
I actually like. I think I like the doubles.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me.
But I also like the real light Belgian beers too. So
yeah, what's that one?
I like that I like that taste that the Belgian yeast gives it.
Is it Letty, or what's that commercial one you get all the time? That's a Belgian blonde.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I know. I'm putting Johnny on the spot. But again, friends, patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Join a recipe receiving tier. I promise you will not be disappointed. And I think I mentioned it last week with Lorena that, like, spoiler, next month, I'm 95% sure we're ending with the Scottish ale, a wee heavy, as they call it. So it's just going to be a boozy end to 2025. 2 very big boozy beers, but we couldn't be more excited. Also, something I don't have.
I think we should call it, if it's not Scottish, it's crap ale.
Not Scottish. Okay, deal. I don't have artwork yet. Deal. That's one of the better Mike Myers skits.
It is.
That and Sprockets. Now is the time in Sprockets for every dance.
Yes. If it's not Scottish, it's crap
If it's
ale.
not Scottish-
I like it. I
do
like that
too.
name. It's got a little long, but I like it.
A little long, but it'll do. That'll do, pig. But then also, I don't have a slide for this. Brew Day Live will be on Black Friday. My pop and I will be brewing the Abbey Road Belgian Triple, 10 a.m., youtube.com/Homebrew Happy Hour. Come join the fun. I promise it's always a blast. And it beats the heck out of, do people even do Black Friday shopping in person anymore? Are they going in lines and fighting for TVs and
Well, we're off. We're not working this Black Friday.
I am, pal.
I'm going shopping, man.
You lie.
I'm going to be down there.
Oh my God.
Fighting the crowds at 5 a.m.
Yeah. This is also the time we tell everyone Todd's on testosterone now, guys. He's ready.
I should brew too. I could brew again.
Well, I would love that. If you're being serious, I would love that.
Yeah, I am being serious. I just don't know if I have any.
Tell me what yeast you want so I can make sure it arrives.
I don't think I have anybody in the Airbnb either. Yeah, I think I'm good.
You did not, according to the calendar, because originally I talked about coming up that weekend, but we're not.
Yeah,
because we're brewing. But anyways, okay. So I believe that is all the small talk, and then I have only 3 questions. We should get through this pretty good, and mainly because we're recording on the day I got to publish this. So
yeah, and my answers are usually yes and no.
So with that, we're going to get right into the quick questions. 7 minutes of questions. Put the timer on. No, our first question is an email from our buddy Ryan from Wisconsin. And Ryan wrote, "Hey guys, love the podcast. I've been kegging my homebrew for a while, and I've started to notice my ball-out distillants aren't sealing like they used to. Sometimes I get a slow leak or sticky action when attaching them. How often should distillants be cleaned or replaced? Should I be taking them apart regularly or just replace them when they start acting up?" This is, of all the weeks to not have James, who's on vacation. I hope you're having fun. Don't get mad if I didn't invite you on. I wanted him to enjoy he was working. He's on vacation and he's working. And I didn't want to put the stress of this.
That's normal, isn't it?
Yeah. See, both of you guys, y'all are such boomers. You're like, I walked uphill to school every day in the snow and I work. I never take off. And when I'm like, dude, I take off all the time. I love it. Never work. Anyways, Brian's question. James isn't here. He's the distant man, but you're a very close second place.
What do you mean? I've been with the company just as long as James.
Yeah, James breathes it, okay? I know where to go when I have a question about distance. I was trying to pull it up on the screen because the first thing pull it up on my screen over here, people get confused with distant maintenance because they don't realize they can take it apart. We sell at kegerator.com sells replacement parts from CM Becker for every little piece that could possibly fail after however many years. And that's my easiest quick answer if I was trying to wrap up the question is don't replace it just to replace it, even though they're not expensive in the bigger picture of components. But I don't know about maintenance. So what are some factors that would make something fail quicker than like I've had the same distance for a decade.
I'll say this. I think when he says they get harder to put on, sometimes that's not the disconnect. Sometimes you need to lube the O-ring on the post of the keg. So you pull it back and you push it down and it's not going on. That's actually the O-ring on the keg. I lube my O-rings. I inspect and lube the O-rings on my keg every time I fill it full of beer and often replace them because they're super cheap and there's nothing more aggravating than losing a keg full of beer because a 25% O-ring cracked and all the beer went through that little bitty crack and went down into your keezer and filled your keezer full of beer.
And it's happened. It does suck. Yeah. It's happened.
To be fair, you usually don't lose the whole keg because it's a real small leak, but it is still super annoying. But usually a lot of times when they won't go on, it's either because you're trying to put them on the wrong post or they're not lubed properly. But the disconnect itself, as you mentioned, all the parts are available. You're almost never going to buy a cap. That's one of the parts. There's a little O-ring that's in the very, very top. I rarely see that fail because it never gets any light on it. The stem itself has an O-ring on it, but it's an assembly. I think it's number 3, and those are like $1.29. It has the stem, it has the O-ring. that's usually the part that you would replace. But I will say this, most of the time, you don't even need to replace it, you just need to lube it.
I agree.
Yeah, so what I do is every once in a while, if my O-rings are if they're getting sticky, like they've just been used so much that they're sticky and gooey, and then I will take them apart, soak them in brew clean. So to take them apart, you just unscrew the top with a standard screwdriver, and you very carefully there's an O-ring on the top, there's a spring, and then there's only 3 parts. There's 4 parts. Okay, there's 5 parts. There's there's the body would be, I guess we count as a part, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the stem, which goes in, and that's the little piece you can see when you hold it upside down. I can't believe I don't have a disconnect. But the little piece that sticks down that pushes the thing down, pushes the poppet valve down. And that stem and O-ring are one piece. And when you that's the first thing that goes in. The spring goes on top of that. The O-ring goes on top of that, and then the cap, and you screw it back down. Usually, when people replace parts on disconnects, 99% of the time, it's because they took them apart to clean them and they lost one of the parts. The little O-ring or the spring or something went down the drain. That would typically be the issue.
Yep. Oh yeah, and I've seen that happen too. Yeah, I was sorry. I was pulling up the photo because I wanted to make sure I think it was a collaborative effort when we did that photo, but it is accurate. Okay, I was terrified. Like, oh no, is there something wrong? I'm going to send them this link. No, everything's on there. Parts 1 through 7, and then depending on ball lock or pin lock, and depending on gas or liquid, everything's there. I'll put that in the show notes because that. And I'll say this too. This is also speaking from someone with a lot of access to these parts. It is worth having we have listeners asking about they did a draft system or what backup stuff should they have for whatever. I would say having a backup for your disconnects, like in parts, is something you should have in your toolbox. That's something.
Yeah, I always keep parts.
Yeah, parts are good. Lube, and one thing of lube, I forget the quantities that are on the website. 4 ounce might be the smallest that's offered. Still, 4 ounce of lube will last you forever, unless you're like Todd.
Well, no, I think the smallest is 2, and even a 2 will last you or no, it's 1 and 4. I think.
No, is one? There's a 1 ounce lube on there.
Here, I'll look it up.
As you're looking it up, I did think how funny it was. I thought I'm going to clip the part of you talking about lubing your O-rings because it just sounded such like a euphemism when you're like, I lube my O-rings regularly or whatever you said.
I do. I
was like, I don't like the way he says lube. I don't want to. But yeah, lube. I think you're right. It's 1 and 4. Did we? What? I don't even know if we still carry I would say Heinz because I forget the name of the company. Haynes.
Lubrifilm.
Lubrifilm's
yeah, and it is 1 ounce and 4 ounce.
Well, yeah.
And I'm amazed at the price difference. It's like $4.99 for a 1 ounce and $5.99 for a 4 ounce. I'm not even sure they have that right. I might ask them about
You need to ask them about the listing on the website.
Yeah. But if you buy a 4 ounce for $1 more, you can give it to your grandkids. So.
We are promoting generational wealth on this podcast.
Generational wealth. Yeah. That's right.
The 4 ounce lube, it really does last forever. And like Todd said, it is a good idea to keep gaskets lubed in between usage because that is frequently the cause of leak. In my anecdotal experience, the lid O-ring, man, that's the easiest thing to just take off lube and put it back, and it makes a world of difference. And like you said, I'm glad you covered it. When the disconnect's not fitting, that's not on a ball lock keg. It's hardly ever the balls of the disconnect. I know I caught myself as I was saying that too. My hands like this. It's hardly the balls of the disconnect. That's what they're called.
The visual on that is something that I'd like to erase from my mind.
It's hardly the ball bearings. That's what they're technically called, right? They're ball bearings. It's hardly ever those. It's the post. A lot of the times, if you think you're having an issue with your disconnect, it actually might be the post. So which are also worth having gaskets for your post, having a backup poppet, all that in your tool chest.
So the same reason you rarely replace the O-ring inside the post. So there's the O-ring inside the post for the that is one of them. and it goes on I'm talking about on the dip tube. I'm sorry. There's more than one O-ring in there, but the dip tube one, when you buy a set of O-rings for a keg, it comes with 4 O-rings, comes with a lid, 2 posts, and 2 dip tube. You almost never have to replace a dip tube because it never gets any sunlight. What kills those post O-rings is the sunlight or, UV light. And you also never get that on the inside of a disconnect either. So you rarely have to replace O-rings on the inside of one.
And I'm making this up, and it's more of a question than a statement, but I assume my breakfast stout is going to be harder on gaskets than my Kolsch. Is that not accurate to say? Because of like the thicker, it's
stickier, probably. Yeah.
And also, though, one more thought that I had, not just to drag out Ryan's question because I love doing that. Do you think my keg that I am serving in carbonating sparkling water, and it's at 40 psi, do you think that pressure wears it down more too, since the other kegs are only getting 11 psi of pressure?
I don't really think so.
Okay, I just thought of that. Like I don't have it.
But aren't we excited about this topic? I mean, can you imagine any other podcast where they'd be this excited about the parts of a disconnect? I really am legitimately excited to talk about it.
I thought you were being facetious because my kids one time. So when Esther, who is a wannabe comedian, I wonder where she gets that from. She was like, "Dad, I want to start a YouTube channel," and I was like, "I'm on YouTube." She watched 5 minutes of one of our shows. She's done. I don't think she wants to be a YouTuber. I don't think she wants anything to do with me. I don't think she.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as she is.
I think
we're not keeping getting asked on. I
think she and just like you, she's lost all respect for me. So it's it's a wonderful thing when your child finds the stuff that you put out there online. But anyway,
it took her another 17 years. But
that's right. That's right. She's just a little bit behind the curve. You discovered this a long ago, which I should put them on the screen. Where did you get those photos of me from that you were sending to the group chat?
I was looking for something actually for work. A photo for work of a keg shipment we got a long time ago. And I get into my photos from my old iPhone and I start sending them to you and my kids and my wife. And I was like Josh for an hour. I didn't work for an hour. I just sent people photographs.
Well, only 1 hour? That's rookie numbers, man. Yeah, pump those numbers up. I'm not going to put them on the screen because they're terribly. That was Fat Josh. If people want to know what Fat Josh
looked like. You know what? So do you remember, I won't say his name on the air, but do you remember an ex-boyfriend of my daughter, my youngest daughter?
I do.
Yeah. When I saw the photograph, I thought it was a photograph of him.
Oh, that's insulting.
And so did my wife.
That's insulting, dude. How dare you? But you know what? I guess that means I am Latino. Hey!
Yay!
Anyway, it's Ryan from Wisconsin. Thank you so much for submitting that question. A reminder, guys, when you email it, that's great. I love it. I have a database full of a ton of emails and text messages, and that's wonderful. And I do actually have probably 20 some odd voicemails. A few of them are usable. Most of them, I'm so happy in the flattery I'll do. But if you have a real question, you want to get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com, call 325-305-6107. Leave your voicemail question after the beep. When I play it on a future episode, like I said, you're going to get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Moving on to question number 2. Laura from Phoenix wrote in, "Hey everyone, I have a question about serving temperatures. I keep my kegerator cold, but I've noticed when I adjust the fridge temperature even a few degrees, the pour seems to change. I will get more foam, and other times it pours slower. How does temperature inside my fridge affect the pour? What is the ideal serving range to keep things consistent? Thank you for keeping things light and entertaining. Cheers, Laura from Phoenix." Was Phoenix where you lived at one point?
I did, yes. I lived in Phoenix area.
And our good buddy Fred, blind brew guy who watches the show every week, he's from the Phoenix area. A lot of brew. I think Arizona seems to be a state we did a lot of questions from and has a good chunk of homebrew clubs. I guess it's a good brewing state. Did you brew when you lived there? I forget if you you brewed it forever ago.
I kind of took a hiatus from brewing because we lived in 2 places and I had very young kids. So yeah, I brewed a little bit of extract. That was it.
I just couldn't remember if you did or not. When you came, obviously you brewed 150 years ago, according to your stories.
Yes.
But anyways,
Yes.
Laura's question. This is
it was the late 1800s when I started brewing.
It was the late 1800s. This is right up your alley. We actually have a whole video I'll put in the description about the common culprits when it comes to too much foam. Temperature was like your number one culprit. So I suspect the answer could be short and sweet. But what is going on with how your serving temps affect your pour? Not just affects the beer itself, but affects the pour from your draft system.
Basically, he said, he started out by saying,
"How dare you?" It's Laura from Phoenix.
Sorry.
Whoa. Backtrack.
Sorry, Laura.
Yes.
Sorry. She started out by saying she keeps her kegerator very cold, but that's, I don't know, I don't know exactly what that means. So basically, you want to keep your kegerator between 36 and 38. And I say between because most thermostats have about a 2-degree variance. Mm-hmm. So, maybe you set it on 37 and it could go down to 35 and up to 39, but it's going to stay in that range, right? Because you really don't want it to get over 38 because you're going to start, too much foam's going to break out. And you don't want it at 30, you run into places that say, hey, we serve ice cold beer. Well, you don't really want beer at 32. You have absolutely no head. You cannot taste anything. It's 28, I should say. That's kind of the temperature. You can't taste anything. You don't have any head. And also when you drink that beer, it'll basically, all that foam's going to break out in your stomach and you're going to go and look like Josh used to look.
The photos that you sent me. Yeah. Look at the photos that you sent me. I'm glad you brought that third point up too about the cold beer, because there are places that they pride themselves on that. And that's great, whatever your shtick is, but beware, consumer, you're going to get bloated. You're going to get bloated when you're done drinking that. And like you said, a couple things from Laura, and I'll reply to her. The email is pretty fresh, and I took the question. I only reached out to her to tell her, hey, we're taking your question. Thanks for submitting it. I didn't ask more. You're right. She didn't specify the temperature because there is a big difference. Some people, we are all, like my wife would tell you 55 is very cold. And obviously,
that's why I said that because, people. I have people tell me that all the time. I go, well, the first thing you need to do is check your temperature. And they'll go, I keep it really cold. I'm like, okay, that's not really a temperature though. That's subjective, right?
Really cold Celsius. It's actually a new metric that we, or it's something new that we measure by.
There you go.
But let's just assume the average fridge that like mine, one of the kegerator I have, that Edge Star, that's been kicking forever. Like they don't pay us money. I'm sure it's just some factory in China. If you're not Edge Star, my apologies. Go America if you're American. But that kegerator's lasted me forever. It was at my old house, then it was at my parents for a while. Now it's in my garage, working great. It just has settings of 1 to 5. If I didn't have a dial thermometer in there, I wouldn't know that 5 is 31 to 33. Todd disconnected. He's back. As I was saying, my kegerator if I didn't have a dial thermometer in there, I wouldn't know that 5 through 1, what they meant without seeing it. 5 means colder, but that's subjective. What is colder? Well, my kegerator all the way up to 5 means like 31 degrees. That's not what I want it at. I keep it between 3 and 4, and that keeps it at like 36. That's perfect for me. That's where that's where I want it. So, like you said, you cannot be overly cautious in regards to making sure the temperature's right. For example, that I think they're out of business. That sample you got that I took to my dad, and that's his kegerator now, 12 Tap, I think was the company. They're, again, a Chinese supplier. That one, when you set it, we have it set at 41 on the digital screen. The real temperature is like 35. that's a huge variance of differential, right? Like that 6 degrees. I'm bad at math, whatever. That's a huge 5 degrees. That's a huge difference from just like, oh, I set it at 40. It's going to be at 40, which is, we only did 41 because after we learned, that was when we froze the beer at my kid's party. I came there. My dad had it at like 36. Nope, it was at 30. Oof, can't do that. So, Laura, though, wrapping up her question, because now I'm all discombobulated after Todd just abandoned the podcast. If she's getting more foam, that's probably because it's too warm.
Yeah, absolutely.
But can you explain the slower pour? Is that probably a byproduct of too much foam and it's the perception of slow pour?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, when she said that, I was baffled because, I mean, really, I mean, I'm assuming she just has a normal faucet, not a flow control.
Right.
A slow pour would normally, I mean, where I've seen that before is I've actually seen it because the beer became partially frozen.
Okay.
And I've seen it before when you just lost pressure on the keg and you didn't have as much pressure, but I've never seen temperature affect the pour other than partially freezing the beer.
Yeah. And something else I'll put in the show notes, the description, guys, a just very cheap, it stands on its own thermometer, analog that I mean, I think everyone should have even if your kegerator is one of the nice ones that has a digital display, always double check it. Calibrating is the wrong word because you're not actually calibrating it. You're self-correcting if you have to, like we had to with the kegerator my pops currently has, where, all right, now we know we have to put it up to 41 for it to be 36, whatever.
Yeah.
But we would never have known that if we just trusted the digital display. Like, oh gosh, it's way off. So anyways, I don't have a lot more to add. Laura from Phoenix, I apologize if we didn't cover everything, but I think we did. But hey, if you're watching at youtube.com/Homebrew Happy Hour and you have more to say, like, why did Todd leave? Actually, Todd leaving's a great idea. I'm out of here too. Whatever you want to say, leave it in the comments below. It helps out the algorithm. And also subscribe while you're there. But if you want to be more engaged and get rewarded for your efforts, call in a question to 325-305-6107. Leave a message after the beep when I use your voicemail on a future episode. Get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Moving on to the third and final question of the show. Our buddy Jimmy from San Diego. I don't know if you remember him, but it's part of his question. Jimmy says, hey Josh, we met at NHC on club night when you were all dressed like Gilligan's Island. I hope they bring back the convention, especially the club night. I do have a weird question for the podcast. Is it possible for a ball lock keg to, quote, go bad? I have 3 kegs right now. I brew on a G70 and fill all 3 after most of my brew days. One of my kegs has been giving a slight metallic off flavor from it, while the other 2 kegs, filled with the same batch, mind you, do not appear to have that same metallic taste in them. It isn't overly pungent, but I swear I can taste it from that keg. What could be causing this to happen? And is it time for me to throw away that keg? Real quick, small talk before we answer his question. Gilligan's Island, that was my favorite. Well, that's the only time we really dressed up for club night. Had a blast. You were telling me, though, you read they are bringing back Homebrew Con next year, but they didn't announce the location yet. Is that what you were saying?
I believe so. Yeah, they haven't announced it yet.
I hope they do. I'd be willing to make a $5 bet it's going to be in Colorado somewhere, which I'm okay with. But just, because as they are now, the AHA is their own independent entity. They're totally disconnected, separated from the Brewers Association, and they're still headquartered in Boulder as much as I know. So it would make sense that they would probably be in Denver or something. But either way, I hope they bring back a proper convention and then, more importantly, a proper club night.
I'm trying to think of the word. Yep, I got it. Okay.
Go for it. What's the word? The word.
Passivate.
Andale. Go ahead.
Yeah. So maybe this is kind of out there. Maybe it needs to be repassivated. I mean, that's something that stainless steel sometimes needs to have happen, and it's possible to do that. But I've never had it happen on a keg before. Like, I don't ever remember a keg going bad. They've always worked, and I've never had to do anything. But that's the only thing I could possibly think of is
as you say that, I'm thinking, what technically a person has a used ball lock keg. The oldest that keg could be is pushing 75 years now. Am I exaggerating?
Uh, Probably not.
Right? I mean, some of them on paper, some of them are old, and so I know whenever we were doing the brow tag more regularly, James would passivate all the kettles. Y'all had a whole setup out there in the warehouse on the far side, that little corner shelter thing. Is passivating something though a person can do at home? I mean, I don't think I'd even know what that means. I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. You need an acid. It's basically just exposing it to an acid solution. I I would have to. Well, I think we used a citric type acid the last time we did it, but I don't remember the details off the top of my head. It's all over the internet. How do I passivate stainless steel, or what do I use? I mean, you could find products, and I know we used something that, like I said, that was I think it was a citric acid, but I can't remember exactly how we did it. But that could be it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I assume too. Jimmy didn't give us all the details. Shame on you, Jimmy. But yeah, I assume he tried. Like, I would go through the troubleshooting 101 of a intensely long hot brew clean soak, and then sanitize it with my favorite iodophor. And like I mean, he's saying if it's not that strong, I can't imagine that it's like the first thought on my mind, Todd, was that there's scratches on the inside and bacteria got in and now the keg's bad. But that wouldn't be the off flavor he'd be getting. A metallic off flavor wouldn't be from buggies, right? I mean, that's like I've not heard of. I got Brettanomycin infection or lactobacillus, whatever infection, and now it tastes like metal. No, that's not. I've never heard that as an off flavor, but someone's going to write in.
No, but I mean, I could see it. It could be possible. Maybe it got exposed to something, but I know I remember our friend Rick one time. Somebody had mentioned passivating with star sand, and he said, no, it's the wrong kind of acid. Now that could be incorrect, but that's what he immediately said that. So
yeah,
you might have to just do a little research about what the best kind of acid is to do it.
Yeah, and I bet that is Jimmy's best foot forward, is looking up how to passivate at home. And it's not. I mean, I know James did it in all those kettles. It's not some involved process of hooking up this and this and this. It is just exposure at whatever concentrated volume of the acid into the metal for whatever period of time, and then rinse and you're done, right?
Yeah, and I just looked online a little bit, and everybody is that seems to understand what they're talking about is definitely talking about using citric. There's a product here called Citrus Surf, so you might want to look at something like that. It's not terribly difficult, and I think the reason you want to use citrus is citrus acid is the same thing. It's in citrus fruit, so it's food. It's food safe.
Food safe, very acidic. Yeah, no, that all makes sense. I'm actually more jealous. I just saw the Jimmy brews on a G70. I'm just on a G40. I was going to hit up Matt Bowling. They're trying to. It
sounds like he might be a real man.
How dare you? I need to hit up Matt, our buddy Matt Bowling, still with RAR BSG, who is the North American distributors of Bevy. I should hit him up, be like, hey, I saw the Gen 1s y'all are trying to get rid of. I mean, if you want me to do a featurette for you guys, I could, we could work something out. I hope, I don't know if Matt regularly watches this. Every now and then we interact on social or email, but I hope he knows. And it's not because of anything other than my pop and I legitimately love that product, but we promote the heck out of that G40 because we really do love it. Like the Grainfather for dum-dums like us, oh my gosh, it is an incredible piece of equipment to have all those bells and whistles on it. Where, like people who watched the true episode 450 and saw y'all's brow tabs, that is a wonderful way to have full control over it. But golly, who was holding your hand, Todd? How did you know when to add your hops? Ugh. How did you know when to get your sparge water ready? I mean, that just seems laborious.
Yeah. I know. It's tough.
It's tough being
I've
responsible.
just got that old manual system,
You do. Your old man Yule system. Yes.
That's right.
But Jimmy, try passivating it. And if you're watching at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour and you're like, guys, you're totally wrong, this is what's probably causing it, leave it in the comments below. Or
Absolutely.
if it's a good enough comment, call it in to 325-305-6107. And if I use it on a future episode or a question that you call in with, you'll get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Mr. Burns, I sincerely appreciate, even though you tried to abandon the show for an uncomfortable amount of time in the middle of it, I appreciate your time today and for doing this so last minute. Next time I'll give you more than a morning's worth of heads up.
That's all I need. I enjoyed it, actually. It was a nice break. I'm building air manifolds today because everybody's out but me.
It's just you.
I got to get them out, and they're not easy. They're 8 ways, and it's a lot of work. So
that 8 ways, is that for an order, or is that?
It's for a very large order where especially we do a lot of specialty things.
Yeah.
So people will. This isn't for beer at all, but he needed 100 of them.
Oh my!
And we've done them for a lot of different things, aquarium places, and if anybody out there ever needs a specially built air manifold, I'm your guy.
He's your guy.
Although I'd rather somebody else that works for me build them. Actually,
we're your company.
Not today.
Not today. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, boss. I'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
And that will do it for this episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. If you have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, of course you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com. You could even email joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com. But even better, call it in to 325-305-6107. If it's good enough to make the show, which it probably will be, and I play it on a future episode, get yourself that gift card to kegconnection.com. Thank you to our show sponsors, like Muntons Malt, premium grains for a better brew day. If you aren't already brewing with Muntons, give them a try by joining the Trub Club at a recipe receiving level. For the best hops available online, give our friends at hopsdirect.com a visit and pick up what you need for your next brew day. Also, get a pack of premium Imperial yeast along with delicious recipes from us when you join the Trub Club. Go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour and come brew with us. A huge thank you to everyone, a member of our Trub Club. I'm Joshua Stubing. Thanks for listening.